Alright guys, welcome back to today's video, and as promised we'll now go ahead and animate the layout which we created in the last video. It's this e-commerce site and it's already it's already built. We did that together last time, and today we'll animate it and we'll use anime.js. That's an JavaScript animation library to do that. And yeah, you can check it out on animate.js.com. Credits to Julian Garnier for creating it. It's really good. I use it all the time. And yeah, let's start then. So there are a few changes that you have to make to your markup, because, or rather, let's do that later. Let's start um, with the load animation. So we split this whole thing into two parts. Basically, it's one video but two parts. We'll do the load animation, which is the animation that you will see when you first load the page. And then we'll do hover effects, and we'll also use anime.js for that. And yes, it's for the hover effects where you have to do a few changes in your markup, but we'll talk about that later. So what I did is I created two new files. One is called animation.js and one is called function.js. So the animation.js basically contains the whole load animation, and function.js is basically all the hover effects. I split that up because I think it's a little clearer if you have one file with hover effects, because there's also some like DOM manipulation going on, and you have that in a function.js, and the load animation is in a separate animation.js file. So as you can see, this file is still blank, and of course you have to link it in your markup, and that's basically it. We can now start with simply adding our DOM content ready event listener. So you type document.add event listener and you write DOM content loaded, and we'll execute an arrow function as soon as this is called. So that means as soon as the DOM is loaded, our functions will be executed, or rather our animations. So what we'll use for the page load animation, we can give it a quick comment, say initial page load animation, and we'll use a anime timeline, and inside that timeline we can specify our easing function, which is ease out expo. That's the one we'll use for every animation. And below that timeline we can now start adding our animations and starting to animate the individual elements. So I would start with the navigation, which is the first thing we'll animate. I think what will look nice is to have it extend from here to here, and after that have these links like fade in somehow from the bottom maybe, and same thing with the logo, maybe with some delay on that one to like draw attention to it. And yes, let's try that. So what we'll do is write target.nav wrapper. That's a simple CSS selector, and as you can see this is our nav wrapper, which houses the logo and the navigation itself. So this is the one we'll want to animate in width, and what we'll simply do is say width and square brackets and we'll do from 0 pixels to 1200 pixels. That's the width of this element, and I think this should already be working. Does not seem like it works. Let's see. What's the problem here? Let's log something, see if that is recognized. Yeah, it is. What's the problem then? Let's see, probably a typo. Anime.timeline.add targets.nav wrapper width 0 pixels. Ah, there it is. We have to put those in individual what are they called in English? I don't know, but you know what I mean. Yes. So as you can see, it extends from left to right. This does not look that good right now because we have those elements which are also looking a little bit buggy in this area because they get all squashed together. But we'll fix that with a new animation. Again, targets, and we'll say, for example, .logo, and .logo will also be animated with its width property from 0 pixels to 230 pixels. 230. And what's important here is to add a delay, but I can show you if we add a delay of 500 seconds. This is what it does. And as you can see, it takes quite a while. The problem here is that we use a timeline, and a timeline basically means that each of these animations will be executed after the one before that is finished. That means this animation starts as soon as this one is finished. And if you look at this, it makes sense, right? But we don't want this because that takes way too long. So what we can do instead is say offset and minus equals 500, for example. This starts this animation when there are 500 milliseconds left for this animation to end. That means the default length of an animation in anime.js is 1000 milliseconds. That means as soon as 500 have passed and 500 are left, this one is executed. That means halfway through the first animation. If you look at that, this looks better already, right? Cool. Next thing we'll do is, targets. Yes, I can't write again. Targets. We will now, what we have to do is animate the logo and the links. So what we'll do is target them by saying .logo h1 and nav a. This will target this h1 element and all this a element, and all of the a's inside the nav, of course. So what we'll do is we'll say that they should change their opacity from 0 to 1. They should also translate on the y-axis from, let's say, 20 to, we need square brackets, 20 to 0. That means from bottom to top. And we'll add some delay to it. and we'll use this function. We'll need 2 parameters, and we can use an arrow function. This way we also don't need the return keyword because that's like integrated already, and we'll simply say 100 times our iterator. That means depending on which element is the iterator, so 0, 1, 2, 3, and however and how many links we have inside our navigation, they will get either 100, 200, 300 milliseconds of delay, and this usually looks really good. So what we'll do is also give it some offset of, let's do minus equals 700. That means that means this animation starts when there are 300 milliseconds left for this one to finish. Let's check this out. Yes, that looks really nice. Cool. Let's go for the next element, which I think should be our 3 columns. So this text column, this image column, and our little sidebar column. Targets, and we'll select them by simply saying let's see. Okay, let us go ahead by first animating these 2 columns and also animating this gallery counter thing element, and after that we'll go ahead with the sidebar. I think that's a little simpler. So what we'll do is say dot text section, which is our text column, and yes, I think I know what we could do. Let's say translate y again from 100 to 0, which is again from bottom to top, and also the opacity from 0 to 1, and offset of minus equals, let's say 1000 milliseconds on that one, so it executes I think right after or along with this one. I think that's what it is. Yeah, kind of, I think, but it looks good. And what we'll do is copy this, say image section, translate this one from minus 100 and give it, actually let's give this one less, equals 700. Yeah, that looks cool, I think. What if we give both of them well, it looks really similar, like you don't really see a difference of 300 milliseconds that clearly, but I think that looks pretty good. I like this effect. What we can do now is animate these 2 in as well, and what we'll do for that is okay, we'll do targets dot. No, I think, let's see, what's it called? There it is. Gallery loader and gallery headline. So let's start with the headline. Hashtag gallery headline. And for this one, we could do height from 0 pixels to its height of, let's see, what is its height? Let's search for it. Gallery headline. Why? Alright. So Atom doesn't find it. Oh, I think that's because we didn't style it with its selector, but we used, there we go. We used indentation, so 80 pixels, that's what we were looking for. 80 pixels. And okay, 80. And what we'll also need is opacity again, from 0 to 1, and some offset. Let's do minus equals 800 should be good, like that. Now for the bigger element, which is this one, which is called gallery loader. It needs a height of 135 pixels, 135 opacity, and let's give this one 700. Let's check this out. That's rather slow. Let's see, what can we do there? Let's check it out again. Yeah, it just takes a little too long. Whoop. Let's see, we have to play with the offset a little. Head feels like it's not changing, I don't know. Let's take the offset away. Let's see, there's something wrong. Oh, typo. So let's go with our values of 800 and 700 again, because I feel like this should work. Whoop. That's better. Alright, next thing is the sidebar dot add targets, and we'll need, let's see, what can we do for it? I'd actually, instead of like animating this one also from top to bottom or bottom to top, I'd prefer to like only animate these elements in our hamburger menu and the 2 social media links. I think that would look better. to have them come in from the right, for example. So let's try that. What we can do is, yeah, I think that will look nice. Let's do .ham line, best class name ever. Dot hamline translate x this time, and let's just try a value of 500 to 0. We don't need those, to 0, and opacity from 0 to 1 again. 0 to 1. Actually, no, okay, let's just leave that. Opacity 0, 1. Let's try maybe duration 800 to have it a little faster, and some nice delay. L and I is what we need. Arrow function and return maybe, yeah, I guess 100 times I again, and a offset of, I guess, minus equals 700 should do. Let's check this out. Yes, cool. Once more. Yeah, that looks cool. Kind of float in with some nice delay. Alright. .add. Let's do the social media links. Targets. We can target them with .social and then .social a, and they'll need again translate x, opacity, maybe not the duration, but they'll also need some delay. Maybe we can bump this one up to 200, and offset as well. Some more maybe this time, or some less actually. Some more offset but some less delay. Whoops. Typo. Social. Let's check this out. Woo! Looks good. Once more. Yeah, the offset 1000 milliseconds basically makes sure that it starts along with the hamburger animation, and I think that looks better than having them animate in with some delay. Alright, we can do the navigation now. .add targets is now, let's see, .gallery nav and then div .gallery nav div, and we'll do translate y on those and have them come in from the bottom again, so 500 0 maybe, opacity again, and delay as well. I think 200 is fine, and offset again with 1 second. I think this should be good. Let's check this out. Yes, looks good. And that's it already for the loading animation. Guys, you can see how powerful anime.js is. Really, it's like only 70 lines of code, 69 maybe. And yeah, we get this beautiful animation, and it's a game changer when you have a website. Let's say you enter this website and you see this animation, or simply a static website that just pops up. It really makes a difference, I think, and it's really worth it putting in just a little bit of time to enhance your websites with this. Let's go ahead with some hover effects. So what we can do is, for this details button, we could maybe like rotate this icon, which would look nice. Let's check this out. We can definitely do that in normal CSS. What we'll need here is the details button. Actually, oh, I already wrote that one when I prepared this video. Let's just uncomment this. You can see it's a hover, which then affects the image, which is a child element of our details button, and it transforms it to rotate 405 degrees, and the image has a transition all 0.6 seconds and ease property. Let's check this out. Yes, I love this one. So simple but nice. Looks really good. Yes, the 405 degrees, I just tried it out, so it makes this kind of X when it's finished. Yeah, I really like that one, it's fun. Okay, next up is, I guess, the navigation, right? So what we can do first of all in normal CSS, that's probably also already commented somewhere, yeah. Simple hover, color and black. This is this standard effect. We know that one, we've seen it, and it's gotten quite boring, I'd say. So what we can do is, inside our functions.js this time, we don't need this one anymore, we finished that. We'll need again document, oops, not doc type, document dot add event listener DOM, whoops, content loaded, and execute a function. Whoops, don't need GitHub right now. Alright, what we'll do in here is, first of all, if we want to animate those using anime.js, we have to we have to select them. After that, we have to add a event listener of mouse enter to them, so we can call our anime.js function when they are hovered, and inside that event listener we can then write our animation. So what we'll do is write a variable nav links maybe, and it's equal to document dot query selector selector all, and yeah, I'm using ES6 here. We really don't need jQuery for this. What we'll do is select nav a for our links, and we can also, yeah, no, I think that's it, nav a. And since this will give us a node list, we have to loop through each element to add the event listener, and we'll do nav links dot for each, and we want to execute this function for each of the link. We'll give in nav link this time without the s, and we'll take every nav link, add event listener of mouse enter, which is the hover. Of course, no typos, if that's possible. Like that. And yeah, this is where our markup comes in, because the animation I planned for those will need, it will be like a text animation. So we need to put every letter, actually this is an F, every letter inside its own div with a class of letter, and so we can animate each and every character of a link. We could also wrap them around divs with a JavaScript, but yeah, this also works, and really this website is not too big, so we can do that. And what we need to do is select the letters. So what we'll do is let letter is navlink dot query selector all, and we'll just select dot letter. So this gives us our letters, and we'll now animate those with a timeline again. Timeline, just like that. I don't think we need to specify anything in there. We just do dot add targets dot letter. Actually no, just letter, because we've selected it up here. Yeah, letter. We'll need translate x from 0 to -30, which is from the position they're in to the left, and opacity from 1 to 0, so the other way around. I want them to fade out when we hover them. I will use a different easing option, which is ease in expo, which is also built into anime.js and sometimes really handy and beautiful. Duration will be 500 milliseconds. Let's see. And some delay. We'll need our handy function again. Whoop. And let's do 30 times iterator. This is the first part of the animation, and the second part, maybe you guys can already imagine the animation just by looking at the code, but I promise you it looks beautiful. Let's do, oh, actually what we can do is take this one out and write it into our timeline. This way we don't have to specify it twice. We'll do translate x again. This time though, we'll use 40 to 0. Guys, I of course already prepared those values, but it's usually just playing around, but I did this so the videos don't get too long, because I feel like they're too long at the moment. Okay, translate x. Again, we need opacity, but this time we want it to fade in again from 1 to 0. No, from 0 to 1, this way. And easing will now be, easing will be ease out expo, and duration will be a little longer, 100, and delay will actually be the same. And guys, this animation is really gorgeous, I love it. So let's check this out. Wow, it's what? What is going on? That's also fun, but not very useful. Okay, let's check this out. What is it that we've done wrong here? Let's see. Opacity from 1 to 0. Let's see. What does the console say? Ah, that's a typo. Let's see if that was really what was going on. Oh, we have to, I mean we don't have to, but we should probably delete this log to clean up the console. Let's see. Yes, guys. Isn't that beautiful? It's really fun. Looks so good. It's really about the ease in Expo, I think. Looks so good. But definitely play around with this. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but usually I think these kind of little text animations look really good when you like animate each individual character of a link. And also, guys, this is only the second part of our little project. I'll also show you how to use Ajax to load in different content without reloading the whole page. So basically having like animated page transitions. And for this, how we'll actually do this is listen for a hover on these links, and as soon as it hovers, Ajax will fetch our content in the background, and when we click on it, it's actually displayed. This makes sure that we really don't have any loading times, and the animation just helps with this, because when a user hovers on it, the user sees this animation, checks it out for a second, maybe even hovers a second time, and yeah, we can really use that time to load our content, and yeah, it just makes for a better browsing experience. So that's cool. And actually, what we can also do is use the same thing on these links. For that, since we have social media links, and it's quite common to have the social media color on hover, this is what we'll do. So the first child of the social media or social class, which is this one, will have this color, which is the Facebook blue, and this is the Twitter blue. So that already works, as you can see, and it's as simple as adding the second selector, which is dot social and a, and this will animate our social media links, but of course in a horizontal way. So I think that's also cool, because they are horizontal, and they are, no, sorry guys, they are of course both horizontal, but the text is vertical on those, so it looks quite nice as well. Yeah, so that's cool. Next up would be the gallery navigation. We have already done the details button. Yeah, right. Okay. So the gallery navigation. Let's add a comment here. Gallery navigation hover. Let's add a comment here as well. Navigation links hover. what we'll do here is select the actual buttons here by using document.query selector all, and they will be inside gallery nav and div, I think. Let's check this out. Whoa. Yep. Gallery nav and div. And again, basically same procedure as before. We'll take all of those gallery links, loop through them with for each, run a function and give in a gallery link, which is the left and the right link basically, or button. And let's see. Yeah, we'll take the gallery link and add a event listener again of mouse enter, and we'll run this function, and inside this function oh, actually, yeah, guys, this is something that just popped up in my head. We can do anime.remove remove letter, and what this will do is it makes sure that, oh, actually this doesn't fix this problem, but I found that it usually makes the animations like less buggy, because I sometimes have the problem that a animation starts and throughout the animation it kind of quickly it like glitches a little, and you can see the end result of the animation, if you know what I mean. It doesn't look good, and this kind of fixes this, although we really don't have this problem here, so that's good. Okay. Yeah, so we can do the same thing here again. We can do anime.remove, and what we'll remove is the gallery link. And this time around we'll have two separate animations. Targets is gallery link, of course, and the reason why we need two animations, so this is the first one and we'll write the second one, that's because we need one animation for mouse enter and one for mouse leave. Yeah, so what we can do is scale the button just a tad bit bigger and translate it on the X by -5 pixels. Whoop. Or let's just do -5 and translate on the Y axis by -5 as well, and use easing of ease out expo like that. Let's check this. Yeah, as you can see, this works. The only thing that doesn't work is the animation when we leave this button, so that's something we need to do. For that we have to, well, we can basically copy this, but this time mouse leave, and we'll scale it back to 1 and 0 and 0. This should be it. Let's check this out. Yes, this works. Also works on that one, although this one looks a little weird because it's white on white there. So what we can do is add a very slight, very subtle box shadow, which I prepared right there. Yeah, it's just dot hover and box shadow of 0, 0, 50 and 0.1. And there you can see it a little bit. I think this also looks pretty nice. And yeah, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this one. Stay tuned for the next video, subscribe and like, and I'll see you next time, guys. Bye!